Alright, guys. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning back in. This is game number 2 of the quarterfinals between UC Davis and the University of California, Berkeley Golden Bears. So over here, guys, starting off at the top right side of the map, representing UC Berkeley, we have BNY Fan. Going to be the red Protoss player over here. His opponent over at the top left side of the map, we have Bobo the Bear. He'll be representing the UC Davie Aggies. We are on Tal'Darim, guys, one of the older and one of the oldest maps inside the pool still yet that we see till today. What we have in front of us is a little bit of a PvP matchup, and when it comes to PvP, this is just going to be most likely some sort of a cheesy game. Typically when we see it, some kind of 3-gate robo or 4-gate timing, some sort of a mortal push, just something very aggressive because it's such a huge map. The ramps are very, very big, and it's just really hard to hold Protoss aggression or Protoss style builds with this type of map. So we'll see what in fact happens. Now looking over here at the top right for BNY Fan, on the season he is holding a 3-3 record with a 1-1 in the playoffs. So not a lot of games actually if you consider the whole entire season of the CSL went about 17-18 weeks depending on which team you were on, plus playoffs. It's not a lot of games, 3-3 and 1-1 in playoffs. Kind of a little bit of a note, BNY Fan did lose to T. Beasy. He's a Terran player that we might see later today for the UC Davis Aggies earlier in the year in that matchup. So as far as we know, Bobo the Bear on his side, actually I'm actually surprised that even more than BNY Fan, Bobo the Bear is actually 1-0 in the regular season and 0-1 in the playoffs. Lost to San Francisco the prior week in the playoffs. So very interesting that UC Davis has decided to put a player that hasn't actually had a lot of match experience throughout the entire year of the season. Looking at it right now, a lot of similar style builds. Bobo the Bear at the moment doesn't look to be going for any sort of 4-gate play, so he might be trying to get that second gas a little bit earlier, or maybe put down the second gate earlier, or a couple gates to do a 3-gate pressure. But on the other side, BNY Fan, definitely look at that chrono boost energy pulling up. That's definitely a big indication that some sort of 4-gate play is most likely going to happen. So Bobo the Bear, if he is scouting properly, he should be able to notice that chrono energy, and that should be a little bit of a kind of set off signal where, you know what, I should probably set up something and be ready for defense. Oh, and this is just way too cute. BNY Fan, for those who know, pulling off a little bit of a Maximus Black here at the moment, for those who don't know. Maximus Black, goofy little caster player, definitely gets a good portion of his wins from putting down proxy pawns, so very funny to see that. We'll see if that works for BNY Fan if Bobo in fact does not scout. And that's actually going to be really hard to hold, guys. There might be, like, pylons on the outside, yeah, that's fine. If there's a pylon inside your base, good freaking luck being able to defend that. That's going to be very hard. So at the moment, it looks like Bobo the Bear is going to attempt to try to hold us off with some 2-gate play, and it's going to be very hard. In fact, I believe there's already Zealot out. There's a Stalker heading across the map for BNY Fan. And it looks like, where is that proxy I guess he's just going to use that proxy pylon as his main, just to warp in some units in there. And I honestly think Bobo the Bear is not going to be ready for us. Look at this, guys. He is actually absolutely unaware of what's going on at the moment. He's got 2 more gates coming down, but I just feel like this is not going to happen in time. If BNY Fan's paying attention, he's going to have to be able to save the pro, but he doesn't. Oh! What a huge loss. That's very rough on BNY Fan. Would have been nice to throw down another pylon right there. So he's just going to have to use the one that he does have inside the base. That's actually going to be, there we go. There's the big advantage. Use the one that's inside the base. Now, originally I thought this might have been a 4-gate. Eventually it is, but it's definitely a little bit delayed. Gonna hit right now. The first warp, and I'm gonna assume is gonna come within the base, and this is beautiful movement by BNY Fan, moving around all the stalkers outside the base, and he's just gonna warp in a whole set of units within the base. And this is gonna put a big shock to Bobo the Bear here at the moment. He's not gonna be ready for this exactly. And this first stalker is gonna go down. Unfortunately, only the Zealot gets focused down. Look at the good focus fire right now by BNY Fan. He's able just to focus down a lot of stalkers, and look at the numbers, very in his favor. He's got 4 stalkers, 1 zealot, warping in a whole other set of units at the moment. 2 zealots, 4 Bobo the Bear, but I just don't think this is going to be enough with already 3 stalkers out on the map. I mean, 4 stalkers out on the map. Now 3-on-3. I'm just trying to count the numbers. I'm like, these micro battles are enormous. But overall, I think BNY Fan's going to be able to take this at the moment. There's just too many numbers out on the field. Now there's 3 zealots on 3 zealots, the 3 stalkers plus another set of units can be warped in by BNY fan, and there we go. We see it right now. He's just got that warp in advantage at the moment. All this really does come down to is how well do you micro? How well do you micro? How well can you control your zealots? Where do you send them? How well can you control your stalkers? And eventually it's just going to come to a point where, I mean, you're going to be able to kind of hit a little bit on the economy, and the economy is just going to eventually fall apart for Bobo the Bear. Just going to be a little bit, it's going to overwhelm eventually in the end. And now you see probes are starting to get pulled, and when probes start getting pulled, you're either going to really hold hard, or you're going to just lose so many probes that you just can't warp in anymore. So that's going to be the unfortunate part. And as we see right now, 5 total zealots back down to 4 against no zealots of Bobo the Bear. And now look at the stalker controlled by BNY fan, just picking off all the economy. As we look at the numbers, just getting too big, and just too much for him to be able to handle anything else. Now let's see him with GG here any moment. Looks like UC Berkeley going to be taking a quick 2-0 lead over UC Davis, and there's the GG.